Greetings to the family once again, another episode here at the Artist Journal. For those of you who are here for the first time, I want to say welcome to the platform. This is a small, modest platform that we are building out to be something special for the African diaspora. Again, my name is Brother Samal, and welcome to the platform. I want to say thank you for all of you guys that supported. We are just over 1,100 subscribers and growing. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Again, I'm your brother Samal, and today's topic, today's episode, we want to talk about a young brother hailing and reigning out of the beautiful Dakar, Senegal, by the name of Bassirou Faye, the young president of Senegal. At the young age of 44, he is handling big things in the country. And I must say, just from watching and observing his work from afar, I am highly impressed by the young brother. We need more intellects. We need more brothers that's mentally strong and put together like Bassirou. So we're going to run a couple of clips and we're going to delve in and talk a little bit about why we need to wrap arms around this type of leadership in Africa. For this type of leadership, this is how we make it, family. So stay tuned. So you guys can see that Bassirou is very needed in Senegal and Africa abroad. This is the kind of mentality and heart that Africa needs to win. You see how the people rally around this young man. It's electrifying, it's magnetic, and it's something that we've seen before throughout history. This is just a reminder, Bassirou, how he carries it, his demeanor, his air of knowing what to do. Not only is he standing strong for all, I believe, all 54 countries in Africa, he is pushing back against the European powers that be. And we have to rally behind such a brother, such a man, such leadership as this. This is how we win again, family. And to speak to France and say that we need you to exit out of Senegal, take your military weapons of destruction and your tanks and we don't need that in our country. Matter of fact, Senegal doesn't have a presence in France. Why you guys feel the need, the time of colonization, the time of pillaging and ransacking in Africa, those days are limited. We're not saying that we want to cut all ties with France, but as of now, 2024, we need you guys to exit. So I want to run a short clip, and if you haven't yet, I want to bring you guys up to speed with the kind of mindset and the heart this young brother has for the continent of Africa. Stay tuned, my good family.
Faye promised to restore Senegal's sovereignty. As part of that, Faye told France 2 on Thursday that France will have to close its military bases in Senegal.
As French people, could you imagine seeing us in your country with tanks or military vehicles, with Senegalese soldiers in Senegalese uniforms? That's what history has been like. France has enslaved, colonized, and remained.
The announcement comes just days after Special Envoy to Africa Jean-Marie Bockel submitted a report on the reconfiguration of France's military.
You see, family, this reminds me the spirit of Bassirou reminds me of the liking of a Patrice Lumumba, why they feared him so much because he put his country first. And Bassirou, Lumumba, as Lumumba put his country first, Bassirou is doing the same thing. And what happens when you align yourself with the ancestors, when you put Africa first, Western powers have a problem with you, and they seek to divide the people, divide the country, and oust the strong leader. Where it is a scripture in the Bible, it said that in order to rob the house, you got to bind the strong man. So what they do, their tactic is to always demonize, right, our leaders. They demonize and they run a crazy kind of narrative. It's in the form of they might have ran off with money, or they might have sexually harassed someone, and they might have embezzled, or it's always something crazy, right? So we always want to give our leaders the benefit of the doubt when it comes to accusations, especially when you see our leaders kind of pushing back against these European powerhouses, these militaries, these corporations that come in and that have Africa by the neck in the form of trillions of dollars in debt, right? So when we begin to stand on our own feet, when we begin to put down a vision for ourselves, your enemy doesn't like that. You understand? So we always want to put arms and put some form of a spiritual shield around our leaders. You know, it was something that Lebanon had did just to show you how their thinking is, that African women couldn't have babies. In particular, Senegalese women couldn't give birth in Lebanon. So what did the young president do? He pushed back and said, okay, since we cannot give birth in Lebanon, you all are no longer invited to give birth on Senegalese soil. This is real things that's going on planet Earth, family. These are the stances that the president of Senegal is taking at the moment. And we have to stand behind this type of energy, for this is how we win. So to push back against France, to push back against Lebanon, to say to France in 1944, you guys murdered and slain over 400 soldiers. You gotta stand accountable for that. You guys gotta pay for that. You know, we haven't forgotten. You understand? So this kind of energy, family, is not nothing light. You know, I'm pretty sure off in France and wherever else, they sitting and they conjuring up some plans. That's how I see it. But we know that Africa is the richest continent on the planet, resource rich. So you think France, for decades at a time had a stronghold in Senegal and other regions that they want to give that up? Absolutely not. So that's why it's so much more important for us to rally behind and support leaders, presidents such as Bassirou Faye. You understand? This is the old ancient spirit being resurrected in the earth. It's another passage in the Bible. It said, "My sheep shall hear my voice, and a stranger they shall not follow. By their fruit you shall know them." As you see this young man speaking to power, representing, stepping out, regal, yo, you gotta support that. You gotta support that, fam. So again, I just wanted to come through, chop it up with the family real quick, and remind us that we are enough. Africa for the Africans. This is your brother Samal here for another one. I'm tuning out. You already know, just to tune back in. Jano, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Peace out.
Unprecedented and highly controversial decision, Senegal has implemented a sweeping ban preventing Lebanese women from giving birth in Senegalese hospitals.
Interdiction formelle aux femmes libanaises d'enfanter et d'accoucher au Sénégal, de la même manière qu'il est interdit aux femmes noires de le faire au Liban.